Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Man to Man Show. I'm Vince Bailey. This is Tim Brown. It's Man to Man with Tim Brown and Vince Bailey. And it's a show all about addressing those issues that men deal with, the challenges, the work, the relationships. And Tim is our resident expert, life coach, counselor, and so a lot of issues that men deal with today.
Absolutely. Everywhere you turn, there's always someone that has something different that they're struggling with, from women to finances to work to the ignorant boss that we all have to deal with from time to time or have dealt with at some point in time. So there are a lot of concerns that men have that they deal with. And unfortunately, Vince, there aren't enough men that talk to other people to help them deal with those concerns and challenges. And you get into the stress and all those problems that men tend to have because they don't talk.
And that's why we created this program to help our fellas, understand what's really going on. And so all you have to do to get your questions, your concerns, your issues dealt with is send us an email at help@mantomanshow.com. That's help, the word help, at mantomanshow.com. And you can use either the letter 2, the number 2, or the letters T and O. And so we've got our question here to kick off the show, Tim. And this one deals with a young man. He's 25 years old. He and his girl have been dating for over 4 years. And now all of a sudden she says that she needs some space. And he's saying it doesn't feel right to him. How should he handle that? She needs some space. They've been dating all this time. What should he do,
Right.
Tim?
Well, when people start saying that they need space, Vince, one thing that I've learned and recognized with a lot of couples is that a person that needs space, they have a tendency to feel like they're trapped. They've gotten to a point where they may be a little bit confused. They don't quite know if they're ready to be committed the way that they said that they are in the beginning. So space to me personally, for my wife and I, or just myself, I don't agree with space because I feel like when a person feels the need to take space, it creates an opportunity for them to get involved in something else that further pulls them away from the relationship that they've committed themselves to.
But sometimes, don't you need a break? If they're there with you, if you work together, you live together, you eat together, you sleep together. What's wrong with taking a little time to just, hey, give me a little space?
Right. Well, we all need space, we all need time, but the context of space when someone wants a moment or a period of separation is when space becomes a problem. Because being in a relationship doesn't mean that you stop having friends. It doesn't mean that you stop doing things apart from one another, because we still have to grow. We still have to do things apart from one another. But the way to do that is you go here, you spend time with your friends, you may hang out a little while, but you come back home. Or you continue to maintain the relationship the way that you started it. But for a lot of people, when they say space, it means that they want that freedom to test the waters a little bit. They want that space to not feel as connected as they were in the beginning. And that's when it becomes dangerous. So if the question refers to a partner that wants space in the context of we aren't necessarily an item right now, I need to think about this whole relationship as a whole,
Right.
it might be cause for concern.
So, couples, a lot of times, when you're dealing with someone, you'll hear the situation come up where, let's see if we really are
Right.
meant to be. Let's give each other a little bit of space.
Right.
And then, we'll see, how that, now. So what do you think
Right.
about that? Using that space as kind of a testing ground.
Right. Well, for me, if I feel like we're going to be together, if I feel as though you're the
Lord,
one,
here we go.
yeah. If I feel like you're the one, I don't want space,
Okay.
because to take space again, it further creates that distance and separation, because in the back of your mind, you feel like you have this additional freedom that you don't necessarily want to have in a relationship, the freedom to mingle, to hang out, to go date, or to interact with people in a way that you wouldn't interact if you were committed in the relationship. So think about this. If you get married, you don't get space like that. You can't say, honey, I need a little space.
This is true.
You're married.
This is true.
The real bling bling doesn't allow for space like that. So you have to figure out how to make it work. So if you're dating, if you're serious about the relationship and the person, I would strongly say to ask yourself, are you serious about the relationship? And if so, personally wouldn't necessarily agree with the space unless you feel as though if they leave, it's okay, because that's my mindset. If we're meant to be together, go into it with the assumption or the possibility that she may not come back.
Right.
And
right.
if you're willing to accept the fact that she won't come back, give her space.
Well, I mean, and this is, he's 25 years old, 25
Right.
years old. So they're young. And I don't know, Tim. I mean, sometimes it seems to me like, young folks, because if you're together, if they're at school together, then they're eating together, and then they're
Right.
on the phone all night,
Right.
and then they're going out, and it's the same group of friends and everything. Sometimes, I mean, it can, I don't know if the word is stifle you, or, I mean, we don't want you to go out there and sow your oats, but we
Right.
definitely want you to go out there and experience some things
Right.
before you get
Right.
locked into a
Right.
relationship.
Exactly. And that's where you have to decide going into it. Really have the mindset, am I ready for a commitment? Because a lot of people date for the purpose of being able to have fun, to have someone that's convenient, that they can call up, late at night sometimes, or someone that they feel that should always be there for them.
Right.
So, I got to a point where I realized that when I had relationships, because I was in the military, I started college after the military, so I had some experiences already. So I was at a point early on that different place, different people, same thing. So I had gotten to a point, I think I may have matured in terms of wanting a relationship and what I wanted a little sooner than some people. But from 21, it took till 28 to find that person, so I didn't just jump into it. So, space, I just don't like that concept where we separate. But being only 25 years old, I heard people say it years ago for a lot of times that you don't know what you want until you're 35.
Wow, 35.
And I can kind of agree with that at this point, being that I'm 40 now. So I feel like I really hit a point at 35 where my decision making was different. I was more solid and firm on who I was, what I wanted, and I'd seen a lot.
Well, I mean, now, as we're looking at this gentleman's situation, I mean, would it have been different if, say, the man said he needed some space as opposed to when the female said she needs space? Because I'm going to tell you, if my girl starts saying she needs some space, that's kind of a sign to me.
Right.
Yeah, baby. So what do you think?
I agree. If the man says he needed space, I would probably tell her to run.
Okay.
If the man said it.
Okay.
Because chances are he already has something in mind.
Okay.
And he doesn't want to cause her any unnecessary grief. He doesn't want to put himself in a challenging situation. And that's from my perspective and the perspective of several people that I've encountered, friends that I've had.
But what if your girl told you she needed some space?
If my girl told me she needed space, yeah, if my girl told me she needed space, I would tell her, if you need space, then you need to decide if we want to have this relationship. Because if you have to have space, we'll just put this on hold altogether. And we'll just go ahead and end this right now until you decide what you want to do.
Well, good stuff, man. We appreciate the question again, and you can get your question in at help@mantomanshow.com, help@mantomanshow.com. We're going to take a quick pause, but you don't want to touch that dial, because when we come back, my man's wife has started getting extra frisky, want to do new things, and he doesn't understand why. You'll find out more. Man to Man Show. Thanks for tuning in.